Okay, computation of Gibbs free energy or delta G. Okay, ang formula natin ay Gibbs free energy or delta G is equal to the negative value of N times F times cell potential or E naught of the cell. The N here represents the number of moles of electrons. So electrons that are being transferred in the balance redox reaction. So yung N na ito yung kina-cancel natin in the previous problems. And F naman is the Faraday's constant. Laging tatandaan, Faraday's constant is equal to 96,485 coulomb per mole. Okay, so yung E naught or cell potential na discuss natin dun sa previous lesson natin. Okay, let's have an example. Okay. What is the value of delta G or Gibbs free energy in the following reaction? So zinc plus copper ion producing zinc ion plus copper. If the cell potential is positive 1.1 volts, so binigay na yung E naught or cell potential. Pero alam naman nating mag-compute just in case hindi binigay itong portion na to. Okay, so ang gagamitin nating formula is delta G is equal to the negative N multiplied with the Faraday's constant multiplied to the given cell potential. Okay. Paano natin malalaman yung values ng N? Okay, N. So, for solving N, we have to identify the reactions or the half reactions for oxidation and reduction. Ulitin natin, yung oxidation is the loss of electrons into which the oxidation states increases. Okay, so from zinc, elemental zinc, 0 yan. 0 ang kanyang charge. Producing, okay, so dapat wala ito. Walang plus dyan, okay? Producing zinc ion which is plus 2. Okay, so from 0, no charge, okay? We had from 0 to positive 2. So there's an increase in electrons. So there's an increase in oxidation number. So this is a loss of electrons. Pag loss of electrons, dito tayo mag-a-add sa product side ng electrons. So as to balance the charges. Kasi dito, sa reactants, 0 ang kanyang charge. Tapos dito naman sa product, positive 2. Saan natin i-add yung electrons na merong negative charge at ilan? So, para mag-balance yung 0 at positive 2 na yan, kailangan nating mag-add ng electrons bearing negative charge dun sa tabi ng product. Para kapag isosolve natin yung total charges dito sa product side, negative 2 plus, positive 2 plus dalawang negative electrons. So that would be 0. Okay? Now, for the reduction naman, reduction always ay there would be a decrease in the charges or oxidation state. So, from positive 2, naging 0. So, there's a decrease. So, saan tayo magdadagdag ng electrons? Dito naman sa reactant side kasi gain of electrons. Bakit dito sa reactant? Kasi nga, we have to balance that positive 2 and 0. So, saan tayo mag-a-add ng negative? Para maging 0, para maging balance sila. So, the 2 should be added with 2 negative. Okay? So, now that we had identified the oxidation and reduction, dito na natin makikita kung ilan ang transferred or ilan ang gain and loss electrons. So, since this case, parehas ang number ng lost and gained electrons. So, hindi na natin kailangan ng multiplier. That 2 electrons or that value of 2 will then become the N So that represents 2 moles. Okay, so we can now solve for the Gibbs free energy or the delta G, having 2 moles for the N. So ito yung N. Of course, the Faraday's constant is 96,485 coulomb per mole. So for this case, the mole here and ito naman per mole will be cancelled. Now this 1.1 volts, okay, could also be written as itong volts ay joules per coulomb. So pwede nating palitan yung unit na volt ng joules per coulomb, such that yung coulomb naman dito sa taas ay makakancel dito sa per coulomb ng cell potential. So leaving us with the unit of joules. So i-multiply natin yan, negative 2 times 96,485 times positive 1.1, we are going to have a negative value of 212,267 joules, or that would be equivalent to negative 212.267 or 267 kilojoules. Paano nakukuha yung kilojoules? I-divide lang natin yung joules ng 1,000 kasi there are 1,000 joules in 1 kilojoules. Now, ano itong reaction na to? It's a spontaneous reaction because of the negative value of delta G and eventually with the positive value of cell potential. Okay, so spontaneous reaction. Basta laging tatandaan, for that to be spontaneous, positive ang E, or ang E naught or cell potential, at dapat negative ang delta G. Okay, next example. What is the value of delta G in the given reaction? Or what is the Gibbs free energy? Given that, okay, aluminum plus copper ion giving you aluminum ion and copper. Okay, so formula natin pa rin ay delta G is equal to N, negative N times F times the cell potential. First step, hanapin natin yung N. So N would be coming from the half reactions for oxidation and reduction. Aluminum undergoes oxidation kasi nga there is a loss of electrons from 0 charge of aluminum to positive 3 charge of aluminum. Saan natin idadagdag ang electrons para mabalance yung 0 at positive 3? Dadagdag natin dito sa may positive 3 para positive 3 plus negative 3 kasi itong ibibigay ng electrons kasi negative 1 yung charge niya. Tatlo sila, kaya negative 3. So that would be balance, 0, and then here also is 0. For the reduction naman, there is a gain of electrons. So gain ng electrons nandito sa reactant side. The copper plus 2 or positive 2 plus 2 electrons giving you an elemental copper having a 0 charge. Now, for this next step is, kung nakikita natin, ang loss of electrons for aluminum is 3. However, copper gains 2 electron. Hindi siya balance. So, hindi ito ang gagamitin natin for N. Hindi 3, hindi rin 2. Ang gagamitin natin ay, okay, the product after multiplying a factor for each half cell reaction. Okay, so aluminum will be multiplied by 2 para maging 3 ang kanyang electrons. Ito, maging 3 ang kanyang electrons lost. At si copper naman, ay magkaroon ng multiplier na 3 such that yung kanyang 2 electrons will also become 6. With this, 6 lost and 6 gain electron, so we have N equal to 6 with a unit of mole. Now, for this case, unlike kanina dun sa unang example na given ang cell potential, ito hindi binigay yung cell potential. So, you have to recall how to compute for that cell potential using the standard reduction potential table na nasa lecture notes ninyo. Okay, so hahanapin ulit natin. The oxidation half reaction will be flipped at ang value niya ay positive 1.66 volts. Okay, at ang reduction naman ay same, hindi natin to flinip. So that would be positive 0.34 volts with a total of positive 2.00 volts. Now that we have the value of N and we have the value of cell potential E naught, we can now therefore compute for the delta G. Okay, so the delta G here will be negative N times F times cell potential, which is negative 6 moles times, okay, so that 6 moles will be substituted here with the negative sign times the constant, Faraday's constant, 96,485, and the computed value of cell potential, that is 2 volts, but the volts could be changed into joules per coulomb. Okay, so ang magiging answer ay natin ay negative 1,157,820 joules. But this could also be written in terms of kilojoules by dividing the value of joules by 1,000. So that would be 1,157,820 divide by 1,000. Makukuha natin yung negative 1,157.82 kilojoules. And with that negative delta G and a positive cell potential, the reaction is spontaneous.